Hi there, it's Sam from pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one, and it's a lidded box, and I've made this one in Bermuda Bay, but it's all about the detailing on the top, and I've got this lovely ombre type effect. Now I did that with two different colours, so I'm going to show you how to make the whole project, and particularly the top. But I love it. It's a great size box. I've covered up my measurements. Finished size, 5 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches, which is 13 by 7.5 by 5 centimetres. So great. And like I say, it's lidded. I'm not going to take this off because I'll never get it back on, but it is a lidded box. So what do you need to make it? You need a piece of cardstock that is 8 by 11 inches, which is 20 by 28 centimetres. I'm going to score this when I find my scoring tool, which I'll put down. I had it. There it is. It's under my scissors. I'm going to score this on all four sides at 3 inches. Which is 7.5 centimetres, so all the way round, all the same. So that's the base, so it's tall sides, shallow bottom, and the lid is 4 by 7 inches, which is 10 by 18 centimetres, and we're going to score that at 1 inch, but we're going to bring it out from the side. I mean, I can see here that it's right up tight, but I'm going to bring it out a tiny hair of a whisper of a little bit, and score it at 1 inch on all four sides, which is 2.5 centimetres, all four sides. And third side. And the fourth side. So there we go, so that's going to be the lid. So what I'll do is I'll start putting this box together. Try not to let that scoring tool fall over. It keeps falling over on me. Fold and burnish all your score lines. I love this sweet sugar plum. I decided I was going to go different. I did think about doing different shades of blue, but I decided then I'm going to change my mind completely and go pink. Okay, so we're going to have this in the horizontal way, and we're going to cut up those two and wedge well and truly into that square. So good chunk taken out of there and there, and then for good measure chop a bit off there as well. So that's the shape you're going for roughly. It's going to get hidden away, but I've cut it for closure purposes as much as anything. So keep doing that all the way round. I love this type of box. And I do like this colour, although the two ink colours that I've brought out to do the shading with and the sponging, because I'm using a sponge roller. No idea if they're going to work. I don't test anything. I've got Sweet Sugar Plum and Pink Pirouette. This one we're going to do the same, but obviously you don't need to chop off a little bit on this square. You just need to wedge it. So don't worry about trimming off there. We did that on this one just because it's a huge box, and those are huge square panels to tuck away. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the basic together first, then you'll see the principle of how to put the box together. So it's going to just fold up like that with the sides there. So I want to get adhesive on here. So I'm going to use my fast fuse. I love this stuff. I keep promising I'm going to do a fuse maintenance video, but as yet I've not thought about it. Well, I do think about it, but only ever when I'm actually in the middle of filming something completely different, which is no good. It needs to be kind of a standalone video, I reckon. And then exactly the same on here, so we're going to put little bits of fuse on these parts. And then the tip for this is that you put the lid on, you put the base on it. Make sure that your lid is fashioned round and you just fold up your sides to match. And you kind of almost need about an extra pair of hands or so, but there we go. And then that will slide on and off without any issue because it's now a perfect fit. Right, so the bit for the top, okay, that's very slightly smaller to fit over the top. That is 1 7/8 of an inch by 4 7/8 of an inch, which is 12.5 by 4.5. And I'm putting it in this embossing folder whose name has just fallen out of my head. I want to say it's Petals of Plenty, but I know it's not that because that's a really old embossing folder. So I'm going to grab my catalogue. What's it called? Oh, blimey. It's called Petal Burst. I knew there was petal in it. Petal Burst it's called. Beautiful, really, really pretty. I've got my big shot over here, so I'm going to grab this. So, what's the sandwich you need to make? Okay, so the new platform comes with a base part and the thin die adapter. We don't need that. It shows you on it what you can do with it, and it says this one is cutting, and it says this one is embossing, and it even shows you what to do. So there we go, that and a cutting mat. Open the embossing folder and you will feel which is the embossed and the debossed side. Pop it in and cutting plate on top. Run it through. This is where the magic happens. It's like, oh, what happened to that cardstock? Ta-da! Look at that! Love it! So gorgeous. Okay, couple of inks now. Sweet Sugar Plum, Pink Pirouette, and I've got one of our sponge rollers. Excuse me. And these are great, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to go like that. What you need to do is go and lift, push and lift, push and lift. So if you go backwards and forwards, you're only going to use ink on one bit. So push and lift. Instead of going like that, push and lift. And you'll pick up ink. You can't see it, you're going to have to trust me. And it is coming up. And just keep going back in. And this one's very pale, this colour. So you kind of have to go over quite a few times, but I can definitely see the colour coming. I'm hoping you can. It's a peculiar day out there. The sun's shining at a really funny angle. So I'm building up the colour. I can see it on my grid paper. Oh, actually you can see it there. So I'm going to get that one away, have a clean of this, and come in with this darker colour, which is definitely darker. And this time I'm going to start, I've turned it round, and I want to bring the dark into the light. But I want the intensity of colour down at the bottom, sort of the bottom corner, not necessarily right just exclusively at the bottom, but at that bottom corner. And I love this look. How gorgeous is that? I'm really not sure that you're seeing it very well on camera, on the video camera. I'm hoping that when I get to take some photographs it will come out really well, but I can see a very... Well, I can't see the gradient at all, which is what I'm aiming for, but you can see it's definitely much darker there than it is there. And I love it, love it, love it, love it. And dead easy to clean these, you just keep going over. And then they clean themselves up. Simple. Right, let's get this on. I found liquid glue is the thing for this, because it will get into all of the nooks and crannies. So Tombow multi-purpose glue. Love it. Lay it on top. And just hold for a few seconds and then bring in the ribbon to finish. And this is the organza ribbon, which is, it's quite forgiving to me, the ribbon tying idiot, the one who can't. but it actually holds holds a bow shape beautifully. Although I appear to have cut the ribbon a little too short, so oh, not too bad. Could have been worse. Maybe I just won't tie it too tight. That is it. What do you think? I really like it. I really, really like it. I love the look. I love the effect. I love the embossing folder. Happy girl here. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me. I'm tipping it again because that light is so bright there. Oh, yeah, that's a really bright light that's shining. But you can see all of the different colours. Beautiful. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Hope to speak to you soon.